Morning, guys. Good to see you. I hope you're good. Really good news. We will be going back to church soon. Hopefully, beginning of June, we'll start back with some groups, unless the government need to change it. So I'm busy preparing all of that. But Holiday Club is booked in. It's ready to go. We're doing a jungle theme. And we're looking at the life of Moses, which is a bit funny because we're sort of looking at the life of Moses at the moment, and we have been. And we come to a really interesting point in the story. Of course, Moses led the people out of the promised land. They've gone through the Red Sea, and the waters parted, and they've gone off. And as they've gone off, the people have kept complaining and complaining and complaining, and they've tried to take the land, and it wasn't right, and they've died. And now we get to what's called 2 strikes and you're out. And I'll read it to you, and it gets a bit confusing, but I'll give you a bit more of the story after we've read this bit of the story. So we're still in our action Bibles. We're on page 181. It's based on Numbers chapter 1. Not chapter 1. Numbers chapter 20, verse 1 to 13. Now, if you want, pause me and go and give that a read in your Bibles. That'd be great. Or just follow it with me in here. When hardships came, the people forgot that it was their fear that kept them from going into the good land God had promised them. And again they complained. No water, now what will I do? The spring's dry, how can I cook or wash? I'll have our tribal leaders take this up with Moses. Well, Moses, where are we going to get the water? Did you lead us out of here to die of thirst? We've had enough. Let's go back to Egypt. At least there we had food and water. You want water? I'll give you water, said Moses. In a fit of anger, Moses strikes a nearby rock with his staff, with his stick. Twice, water pours out, but God is not happy. How can Moses teach the people to obey if he doesn't obey? Because of his bad example, God tells Moses that he will not enter the promised land. That's a bit like, well, what's gone wrong there just reading that? Well, if you read Numbers chapter 20, you see that the people were complaining, and they went to Moses and they complained, and Moses went and prayed to God. And God said to Moses, in the tent of meeting in the tabernacle where God is, Moses gone there, God said to Moses, get all the people around you and talk to the rock. And as you talk to the rock, then I will make the water come out. Well, Moses didn't talk to the rock. What did he do? Yeah, that's right. He struck the rock, he hit the rock twice with his stick. Not once, not twice, for the water to come out. And I think the way that if you read that in your normal Bibles, you'll see that God took that to mean that Moses was a sort of a bit of a show-off. Moses was going to people, look, I can make the water come out of the rock. Instead of him doing as God told him to do, he ignored God. And God wasn't happy. And therefore, the punishment for that was that Moses would never see the promised land. Moses would die before the people got into the promised land. And that sounds a bit harsh, doesn't it? I think it sounds a bit harsh. But Moses was the leader. Moses had followed God and seen God do these miraculous and amazing things as we've looked over the past few months. But Moses still ignored God. And God said there was punishment for ignoring him. And Moses' punishment was not getting to see the promised land. Now, I don't pretend to understand why God does the things that he does, but he knows. And it therefore meant that Moses did not get to go to the promised land. We're going to look next week about the snake, and specifically the bronze snake. So don't read ahead. We'll do that next week. But I look forward to seeing you guys tonight. It's Tuesday. I'll see you tonight at 6 on the Zoom. If you've started joining us watching these videos, we know more people have started viewing these, and you have got a child who's primary aged and they'd like to join our Zoom, then please just drop me an email at Dronfield Baptist website. If you jump on there, Andrew Evers at dronfieldbaptist.co.uk, and I will more than happily have a chat and invite you in onto those Zoom calls for children on Tuesday at UK time at 6 p.m. So I'll see some of you definitely tonight, and we can have a good chat about that story and catch up how we're doing, how our first week at school has been. So great, look forward to seeing you all soon. See you later. Bye.